Okay, so hi, I'm Sian Moxon, and I'm going to talk about rewilding London streets for biodiversity. So, building on Dusty's theme there. Now, green and blue infrastructure, or nature, has loads of benefits, as this diagram by the World Wildlife Fund shows. And I guess the one that I'm the most interested in is its potential for biodiversity, but also associated with that, its potential to inspire us and more fundamentally to enhance our health and well-being, particularly if we live in urban areas. London is a great testing ground for this in an urban setting because, as you can see from this map of its green space, it's already surprisingly green. And it's set to get even greener. London's going to be acknowledged as a kind of green place by becoming the world's first national park city this year, with an ambition to make it even greener and wilder. The Mayor of London supports this with a commitment to increase its green space to 50% and to add an extra 10% of tree cover by 2050. Now, domestic gardens are key to this target because they cover a quarter of London, as you can see by this chart. And urban gardens also have huge potential as significant wildlife habitat, particularly when you think of them at the scale of a street like this. For one, in terms of the area of space they provide, if they're particularly if they're all connected up, it's kind of like a linear park. But also in terms of their potential to connect to outlying green spaces like allotments or public parks and form a kind of wildlife corridor. Unfortunately, London's gardens are going grey, so the opposite is happening. And we lose 2.5 Hyde Parks worth of green space every year as we pave over front gardens, lay artificial back lawns, and fell street trees. And this graph of a 10-year study by Giggle shows that all the kind of green space in gardens is decreasing and all the hard surfacing in gardens is increasing. This is a disaster for wildlife, particularly when we think of the broader context that over half of UK species are in decline. The good news is we can do something about this, but we need to rewild London streets. So imagine we take a typical Victorian terrace, we turn it into a green wildlife haven. The street will come back to life. The bees will be buzzing, the frogs will be hopping, and the owls will be hooting again. And I've thrown all my PowerPoint skills at this one, as you can see. As existing policy and guidance tends to focus on public buildings and non-residential buildings and public space, we need a new model to enable this to happen, to provide guidance to enable homeowners to adapt, and construction industry professionals helping them, to adapt their own homes, gardens and streets for the benefit of wildlife. To this end, we've created a resource, rewildmystreet.org, which provides information on urban species and habitats that you could attract to highlight the benefits of doing this, and also selects products and step-by-step activities that people can use to achieve this. The resource is based around architectural drawings which communicate a vision of a rewilded urban street. And all of the drawings are used to present a different set of information. So this sectional perspective is used to show species and highlight some urban species you could attract and where they might be hanging out in your adapted setting. All the drawings are divided into zones that homeowners would be familiar with. So street, front garden, you can see them along the bottom, house, patio, lawn and shed. And all the drawings are accompanied by keys. So in this case, it's referring to species. And say you want to find out about everyone's favourite mammal, the hedgehog. I was going to say cuddly, but it's not really, is it? And you look here on the key, and you're directed to, through this sort of list of curated external links, to Hedgehog Street's really nice website where you can find lots about everyone's favourite mammal and how they're sadly in shocking decline. We use a street plan to talk about different urban habitats that you could create. And this shows some more radical proposals, like a kind of car-free street park in the centre of every street. But saying that, it still works with the existing street layout, and everything is modular and portable, so it could be quite easily achieved with minimum disruption. It also strikes a balance between showing a degree of uniformity, so everyone on the street has decided to have this continuous street hedge, which my colleague there may or may not agree is good for air quality. But also a degree of variety, so that some people have chosen to put in a pond, some haven't. Some people have put up bat boxes or bird boxes, but not everyone has to. And this links to a habitat key, which is arranged by those zones of street and lawn and so on. And for example, if you want to create a mini meadow area in your letting some of your lawn turn to wildflowers, then you can look on the key under lawn area and meadow, and we'll be taken to Kew Gardens' interesting webpage about the importance of meadows, why they matter as habitat for pollinators. We use street elevations. This is the rear garden elevation to talk about off-the-shelf products that you could buy to attract wildlife. And these are sort of specifically chosen for an urban setting, so that they tend to be fairly contemporary in design, shown integrated well, we think, with the existing architecture, and also suitable for retrofit. So again, organised by those zones, in this case the back garden, patio, lawn and shed. If we go to the street elevation, you can see in elevation lots of those elements about the kind of modular street park being enacted. And on that key, if you wanted to have one of your own sort of green roof cycle store or bin store that's shown here, you go to the Front Yard Company's website, and you can buy an off-the-shelf green-roofed bin store or even bike clock. For a more kind of hands-on and cheaper method of achieving rewilding, the aerial view is linked to kind of step-by-step DIY activities that you could do with the family or your community. And if you peer in very closely to this drawing, you can see people with shovels digging a pond and people up ladders installing bat boxes and so on. And hopefully that gives a sort of sense of the character that might be created by this rewilded street. And again, the key is sort of by those zones and talks about the different activities that you could do. So if you want to, like this guy here, digging his pond, create your own mini pond, then there's a link to this RSPB activity page, which gives you loads of information about how you could do this yourself, how long it would take, how difficult it is, what tools you need, and then goes on to sort of step-by-step instruction. So that was probably a rattle through, but I hope that you can rewild London or wherever you're from. And we need people to join in and to use the resources and also to spread the word. So please do have a look at the website, rewildmystreet.org. You can sign up for monthly wildlife makeover tips, and follow on social media. Thank you.